Hello piano students, this is Dr. Mario Ajero, Professor of Piano at Stephen F. Austin State University. And in this video, I want to show you how to play minor five-finger patterns and chords at the piano keyboard. This is intended for my class piano for non-music major students at Stephen F. Austin State University. However, if there are any students, teachers at other institutions, or even self-learners trying to learn piano on their own, you're welcome to use this video as well. So what I want to do with the first part of this video is I want to demonstrate me playing through all the minor five-finger patterns that start on a white key, that being C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor, and B minor. All right? That way you can always come back to this part of the video and then just play along with me when you're ready and to see if you've got this concept down pretty solid. All right? So I'm going to start with C minor. 1, 2, here I go. D minor, 2, here I go. E minor, 2, here I go. F minor, 2, here I go. G minor, 2, here I go. A minor, 2, here I go. And one more, B minor, ready, go. Now, in order to be able to play minor five-finger patterns, you have to know about major five-finger patterns. And if you recall from previous lessons, or if you want to go back to one of my YouTube videos, the major five-finger patterns are the first 5 notes of a major scale, such as C major. And they had the pattern of whole step, half step, and then a whole step. Or notice that there's no black key between the 3rd and 4th notes, E and F. So that's where the half step is between any 2 notes. And that's the pattern that creates a major five-finger pattern. Whole step, half step, whole step. Okay, and you could do that with any major five-finger pattern. In order to do a minor five-finger pattern, you take any major five-finger pattern like C major over here, and you take the 3rd note, in this case it's the E, and lower that down by a half step, and that's how you create a minor five-finger pattern. Okay. Now, also another way of memorizing how to play minor five-finger patterns is that now the order of whole steps and half steps isn't the same as what we did in major. Now the order of whole steps is between the 1st and 2nd notes is still a whole step, but between the 2nd and 3rd notes, the D and the E flat is a half step. That's where your half step is now, between the 2nd and the 3rd notes. And then now there's a whole step between the 3rd and 4th notes because you're skipping from the E flat to the F. And then there's a whole step still between F and G. So they're still mostly whole steps, except for now in between, instead of it being between the 3rd and 4th notes, in minor it's always between the 2nd and 3rd notes. So if you memorize those 2 facts here, that a minor five-finger pattern is either the same as a major five-finger pattern, lowering the 3rd note down by a half step, or if you didn't even remember that major five-finger pattern, just building up all whole steps except for between the 2nd and 3rd notes being a half step, then you can create your C minor five-finger pattern here, or any minor five-finger pattern for that matter. So here's the C minor pattern one more time. 1, 2, C minor, play. And when I want to do the broken chord in this exercise as well, I take the bottom note, I take the middle note, and the top note, and then I play the middle note, and then I come back to the bottom note. I use the fingering 1, 3, 5 in the right hand and 5, 3, 1 in the left hand. And then I play them all together at the same time. So then the whole C minor five-finger pattern and chords should sound like this. C, D, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, D, C, E flat, G, E flat, C, and then C minor. And when play that C minor chord, if you compare it to the C major chord that we've played earlier, the C major chord kind of has a happy sound to it, but then the minor chord has a little bit more of a depressing sound to it. So if you know, if it feels kind of depressing and sad, then you know that you're playing the minor chord correctly here, okay? And that's one of the chords that I'm hoping that you're able to build up, is this vocabulary of minor chords through this whole process. So if we go to D major, if you recall, D major had one sharp in the middle, the F sharp. So in order to make that a D minor 5-finger pattern, I just take that third note F sharp and lower it down by a half step just to regular F or F natural, and I've got the D minor 5-finger pattern. And if I play through that and it sounds just as depressing and sad sounding as C minor does, then I know that I've done it correctly here, okay? E minor, let's say you forgot how to spell the E major 5-finger pattern, then you would go back to the other factoid that I wanted you to memorize, which is that they're all whole steps except for between the second and third notes. So if I got E as my first note, my second note should be F sharp. My third note should be a half step now, so that's going to be just regular G, and then everything else is whole steps, A and B. So I only need one sharp for the E minor 5-finger pattern, and I want to try to make sure that I strategically place those fingers over those sharp keys so that I don't have to even look for them. So it goes like this. 2, here we go. For F minor, remember there was one flat in F major. I'm going to still use that flat in F minor, but in addition to that B flat, I also have to lower the third note down by a half step. So then now I've got F minor with A flat and B flat in the middle here, okay? And I'll do that in both the left hand and right hand. 1, 2, F minor, play. G major, remember, had all white keys. So then in order to change it to G minor, I just have to do the same thing that I did with C major to C minor. Lower the third note down by a half step, so I got the B flat in the middle. 1, 2, G minor, play. If I wanted to play A minor, I start with A. Whole step above that is B. Half step above that is C. That's nice and convenient because that's where there's no black key in between. And then everything else is whole steps. So then I would play D, and I got E, and that's my A minor 5-finger pattern in both the left hand and right hand. 1, 2, A minor, play. And then probably the least favorite among students is the B minor one, and I'll show you why. Let's say you forgot how to spell out the B major one. You start off with B, go a whole step above that, which is not C, but C sharp, and then I want a half step, which is D. Then I want a whole step, which is E, and then I want a whole step, not a half step, I want a whole step, which is F sharp. And that one kind of snakes all around between white and black keys kind of awkwardly here. So instead of kind of twisting and trying to reach up, just remember to slide your right hand forward into the key so that the 5th finger, that's the biggest issue, is the 5th finger reaching the F sharp at the very edge of the black key. You don't have to play it very high on it here, but what that's going to do is force you to play other fingers a little bit higher on the white keys than you normally would. The thumb is playing the B here, second finger I have it playing here, third finger is playing on the skinnier part of the white key, so is the 4th finger, but it should fit the natural contour of your hand, and you shouldn't have to kind of contort your hand or fingers in such a way in order to make it work. Make the keyboard conform to the shape of your hand and not the other way around. It's an even bigger issue in the left hand. In the left hand, the thumb has to play it, and what you don't want to do is twist your wrist so that you play it like so, which is a common mistake that students do. Never do this here. Don't twist to get it, but slide your hand forward so that the thumb can play right at the edge, and that's going to force your 5th finger, your pinky, to probably play here on the skinnier part of the white key. It's not the greatest thing in the world here, but at least it doesn't hurt. Fourth finger a little bit higher, third finger here, second finger here. See how my left hand is shaped around those keys here? So I'm going to play both the left hand and the right hand. If you want to play along with me, I'm going to do it a little bit on the slower side since this one is a little bit more awkward, but hopefully you should be able to play it if you play it the way that I do here. 1, 2, slowly, B minor. Middle note, top note, middle note, bottom note, and then all 3 or 6 notes that you got going on. And that's how you play the minor 5-finger patterns starting on any white key. And you should build up now a vocabulary of being able to play C minor, F minor, and even B minor if you ever see it in music that you're playing through. You could even apply and extend this beyond with notes that start on black keys, like C sharp minor would be the exact same pattern of whole steps and half steps. If you're just getting starting with this here, just stick with the white keys for right now. Get real comfortable with them. Practice them slowly first, and then gradually increase the tempo until you feel really comfortable and can get a little bit better with it. All right? So if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to email me at ajeromp@sfasu.edu, and hope you keep on practicing. Thanks. Bye.